Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. And like I said, this will be a different video I was going to try to be making in the making. I just had more important news to cover than whatever this debacle is. However, this is kind of hits deeper to home for me because I've had friends and other families that either are alcoholics or had to suffer or had to go through become alcoholic and become a better person. And me personally, I'm not a huge fan of alcohol. I will drink very, very rarely, but I am not a person that does this. However, what I'm going to be talking about today is essentially how you have friendships and how loyalty is a big thing and how people break their loyalty. We have here where we're talking about is Ludwig and Mango. Now, people might already know the situation already, but essentially Ludwig pretty much endorsed and allowed Mango to drink heavy amounts of alcohol, brewing a .32, which is very, 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 very bad and even death-inducing. And he was encouraging and allowing this to happen, along with Mango losing practically everything. And this is going to be no way of me really trying to defend Mango because I think he has health consequences for his actions, and which he has. But there's a lot of things that have to be addressed here because Mango might have had messed up. He has, but Ludwig is the real demon and the real monster in this, and I can't stand people like this. So without further ado, we're going to start with Mango on what he has done during this whole time. So here you go.
See, we're not drunk, guys.
Yeah, we're not drunk.
But Mango, on the other hand,
No.
he's humping toes.
No. What is, bro, Mango, give Mango water. Look at this motherfucker.
I gave him the beer.
Yeah, let him know, bro. Let him know.
Dude,
Can we zoom in on that?
Stan is the worst person.
No! I've seen Mango 10 times drunker than me.
Yeah, obviously this is not appropriate, and obviously we do want to allow this type of thing for people to be around. Normally when you have alcohol, you should probably be responsible for your own self, and these actions and these consequences has caught up to Mango, and this is been catastrophic for him. This has been an issue for him. And he's been a known alcoholic, apparently, in the Smash Brothers community. Now, I know of the said community. I've seen it around. I even know on some of the other people that were in it, like Sky Williams. And honestly, I think the Smash Bros. Community has a lot of sick and terrible people in it, and I think Ludwig is also one of them because Ludwig was also apparently a part of the Smash Bros. Community, which was introduced by Ludwig or introduced by Mango, and Mango has pretty much helped boost and foster a lot of Ludwig's career. And the big issue that I have with this is that he was just the biggest downfall of it all. So right now we're gonna go with exactly what happened with Mango and this whole situation. So first, we're going to start off with Mango. He said, Mango says, "I feel very stupid and embarrassed. I think like 99% of my problems always stem from drinking, so I'm gonna evaluate my relationship with alcohol. I'm not downplaying anything. I know I'm dumb and know better. I will accept my consequences that come my way." He goes on to say here, "I couldn't sleep, feel like I let so many people down, talked to a few friends, and just realized I have a problem. Everyone has called on me for so long and kind of looked the other way when it came to my drinking. Don't want anyone to feel bad for me, defend me. Sorry to everyone I've let down or hurt. I know it just looks like I'm trying to save face, but I genuinely feel so awful about it. All I've done is reflect on my life and realize I'm a broken human. I try to try and redeem myself over time, as I always do. Gonna stop drinking immediately and get it together. So sorry that I may F up, and I will end up to do better." And here's the thing that I have with this, guys, is that I think all humans are inherently broken and flawed in a lot of ways. And depending on your actions, as long as it's not like, raping a child, doing murder, and, these typical F-ups that ends up happening, I think you can obviously easily be redeemed. Obviously, what Mango did is not good, and it looks like he's accepting accountability for his actions, and he legitimately feels bad for these actions that he has caused among other people. And I'm not usually this type of emotional person because I'm not trying to place emotion on this, but you have to respect a man, or any human for that matter, for owning up for their actions and accepting the consequences that comes down their road. And this is something that is respectable. I think when you do mistakes like this, you should be able to redeem, you should be able to be forgotten or forgiven, because there are things that you have done that is, that you just made mistakes, and he's realized his mistakes. But unfortunately, his mistakes had some bigger issues. So we have this here to where Cloud9 has essentially, the official statement from them says, "We are aware of the recent incident involving Joseph Mango Marquez and fully acknowledge the concerns raised by our community and partners. Following an internal evaluation, we have made the decision to release Mango from Cloud9. Regardless of tenure or accomplishments, the behavior demonstrated is entirely unacceptable and directly conflicts with our organization's core values. We maintain a zero-tolerance stance regarding harassment or any other form of inappropriate conduct. Our primary focus remains for fostering a respectful, inclusive, and safe environment for everyone associated with Cloud9. We will continue to collaborate closely with our talent, partners, and community to uphold and reinforce these standards. We wish Mango the best in his future endeavors." Yeah, and this had a catastrophic event issue that is going on. Like he said, is like says he's going to accept all the consequences coming his way, and it looks like he has. It looks like he is looking to accept them, and he goes on to say here, "C9 dropping me, probably getting banned from attorneys is crap, man. No one to blame but myself. But man, never though I could hit this low. Probably won't hear me for a while. I'm sorry, everyone. Wish I was better. I had it all, and if I toss it in the trash can." Yeah, and and we have this here as well. We had Supernova, which is a very popular or high-end Smash Bros. Organization, says here that in light of the recent incident this past weekend involving the competitor Mango, we have made the decision that we will no longer be permitted to attend or participate in Supernova this August. The safety and respect of our attendees is of the utmost importance to us. This decision was made in alignment with our event's conduct expectations as well as the standards of our partners. This decision was not made lightly. We are grateful for Mango's understanding, and we hope he is able to take time and space needed to move forward in a positive direction. And Mango responded to this saying, "My next step is to focus on real recovery. I've already started researching rehab, and I will be checking into one when I find the right fit. My relationship with alcohol was always a problem, and I just kind of made it my thing. So it was easy to brush a lot of the behavior and comments off. That lifestyle has caught up to me, and I need to make a change for the better. And the only way to do that is to move forward and accept that I need to leave the person who I was behind for the near future. I'm going to take a step back from streaming and social media." And he goes on to say here, "As for the ban, I support it. I've always wanted what is best for Melee. If I never get to come back, I accept that. What matters most now is fixing what I can, and making sure I never become that person again. Trust takes time, and some people might never want me around again. I respect that fully." Now, we have Mango here fully accepting and allowing this ban and all the consequences coming forth. He is being an actual man. He is accepting his consequences as a man, and you can only respect a man for that. Full stop, no bull BS. You can only respect a man for doing that. Any human being can understand if you're accepting of your consequences and you realize the issues and you are working towards to fix them, that is fantastic. And that's what we can only really expect from anybody, really. And what we have here is that we have this garbage human named Ludwig, which was good friends with Mango for a very long time. Unfortunately, Ludwig is such a garbage human. He doesn't really care on what happened to Ludwig whatsoever. He even goes on to dare say to even go with, it's not my fault. I didn't cause the issues and what have you. And this is the whole situation with Ludwig, because here you have Ludwig immediately encouraging and endorsing Mango to keep on drinking. Here you go.
Mango just blew a .25! Mango just blew a .22.
That is my guy.
Hey, everybody!
Mango just blew a .32!
Just to be clear, that is dangerous. That's not good. That's not good. That's dangerous.
Let's up those numbers!
Yeah, so as you can see here, that's not good. That's really bad. And what we have here is a simple understanding of how this actually goes when we talk about things like this in reality. So when we talk about the actual effects of alcohol and your back level, which is your blood alcohol content, usually there is a bit crazy severities, right? So obviously, when you have a 0.4, or 0.2 to a 0.4, you know, you have your relaxation, essentially warmth, high, minor impairment, and judgment. You have a 0.7 to 0.5 to 0.7, you get a buzz, relaxation, euphoria, lower inhibitions, minor impairment of reasoning and memory, exaggerated emotions, positive and negative. And then 0.8 and 10%. So this is where it's legally impaired. So again, it says euphoria, fatigue, impairment, imbalance, speech, vision, particularly peripheral, reaction time, and hearing. Judgment and self-control impaired. And you can also, when you're at this point of level, you can be arrested for having this blood alcohol limit. Like, you can just be arrested, you will get a DUI. It's just not good. Just don't do this at all. But look at this. You said how he did a 0.25. Well, a 0.25 is dazed and confused. Gross disorientation to time and place, increased nausea and vomiting, may need assistance to stand or walk, impervious to pain, and blackout likely. Now, notice how when he did that, it's like 2 or 3 times at the 0.8. And what he did is that you see a 30.31 and up, he boiled 0.35. So what this is that you have a coma, which is level of surgical amnesia and onset coma, possibility of acute alcohol poisoning, and death to respiratory arrest likely in 50% of drinkers. So this is not a laughing matter here. This is not a joke. He is literally encouraging Mango to up and unalive himself. That's only to delete himself. That is the only other way you can take this. What Ludwig is doing to his quote-unquote friend, by the way. This is where the loyalty issues that I start having here with these people. I do not like Twitch streamers, and this is a good example. This is what Ludwig says about Mango and saying like, oh, well, this is his fault. This is what he says, right? It's Mango's fault. I shouldn't take any accountability for it.
And like, I guess possibly also getting banned from melee tournaments. You killed Mango, not even a little bit. I don't know if you're memeing or genuine. I feel zero guilt. I don't feel guilty at all. I think this is his own actions because he's his own man. He's an adult man, and me banning him like is the only thing that I did.
Yeah. So this is what we have here with Ludwig. So again, you're seeing here on how he is just a terrible human being, garbage person, and is not taking any kind of responsibility whatsoever for the actions that he made Ludwig do, or not Ludwig, but Mango do. And I'm not saying that Mango shouldn't suffer consequences, or he shouldn't be dealt with the consequences. The difference here is that Mango is being the better person and is accepting his consequences of being led to him, even endorsing or agreeing with the ban that that affects his entire life. His life is over. His life is done. And Ludwig over here says like, no, it's not my fault. I don't take any accountability whatsoever. It's all Mango's fault. He's all the fault. Well, buddy, how about this? You are encouraging and endorsing Mango to drink high levels of alcohol to where it could literally lead to his own demise. That's the problem here. Like, Mango could have easily got deleted, be put in a casket for the amount that he drank. He got a 0.35, and you were even saying, let's up those numbers.
Let's up those numbers!
What are we doing here? This is the problem that I have with these Twitch streamers. I never liked these Twitch streamers. I think they're awful. I think they're just god-awful, terrible people, and they shouldn't be existing into our own realm of existence because they only bring chaos and destruction around with them. This was almost every single Twitch streamer. Don't even get me started on Destiny. So again, these people are just terrible. And Ludwig is a bad person. And loyalty is not even part of his MO. Since he's been friends with Mango for so long, you think we'd have the common courtesy, the common decency to at least try to help his friend, but instead he encourages his friend to drink to high levels of a deadly limit of alcohol poisoning, and even still, when it comes down to his own self to accept some kind of responsibility, he just backs off. And what we have here with this clip is that we have Ludwig going out and pretty much just saying that his own father suffered from alcoholism, that his own father had issues with alcohol, and he ended up being put in a casket because of it. And this makes this so much worse.
I don't talk about it sincerely too often. I obviously, like, you guys know this about me, but my dad had a serious problem with alcohol, and his rock bottom was death. You know, candidly, that's what the rock bottom for him was, is he never got the better of it. It got the better of him. And his life was like, he was 40s. He died at 44 years old, 43 years old, excuse me. Young. Right, I'm very close, you know, relatively to the age.
Don't feel too bad.
That
it will
he
get
died
better
at.
less than 3.
And you know, I've talked to Mango in the past. Like, I've asked him probably 4 times, 5 times, point blank, are you an alcoholic? And every time he's like, no, I'm not. And has gone months without drinking. So like, I've taken him at face value. But like, clearly, it's like a problem. And so this is his rock bottom. Hopefully, it's his rock bottom.
Yeah. It's actually just a joke. So he knows that his own father was put into a casket over alcohol, and he still allows Mango to do this. And what is icing on the cake as well is that you have Valkyrie, which I don't like her very much either, or any of the Twitch streamers for that matter. She still had the decency and common sense to say, isn't this party enabling Mango? Like, this is not making him want to drink more. Like, what are we doing?
And act the same he does off no beers. He's a machine of a
He
man.
said he had 7 beers already today.
If you ask him how many beers he's had lifetime, it's probably above 10,000.
Is this event enabling him?
He's the 2-time champion. He's never lost.
And I want you guys to take a good look at this. This is Valkyrie's face. This is her face when he says, this is a 2-time champion. He has never lost. This is her just being in complete awestruck of what she just heard of this being the 2-time champion. This is the reason why, who needs enemies when you have friends like Ludwig? When you have people go out and stab you in the back like Ludwig, where you don't have the decency for people. Like, when people get drunk, I normally am very reserved and kind of like, you know, I help them if they're completely plastered. But most of the people that I surround myself with do not usually drink in high amounts. And normally it's fine. But these people here, it's just astounding. Ludwig is an astral piece of garbage, and he shows this. Now, obviously, he's responding to other things like that. I'm not going to go into the deep lore of Ludwig. You can go and deal with all the people, all the commenters of stuff like this. I wanted to point you this out because I have a problem with people drinking an immense amount of alcohol. I understand that alcoholism is a big deal, and people have to deal with it, right? And this is of course to home because I've had people and family members have to deal with this type of stuff, and it can destroy and ruin lives. It really can. And the point of the matter is that Ludwig doesn't care. He only cares about his clout and what is given to him. And his actual care for his own friend shows the type of person he is. I would never be around this person. I would never want to be this person's friend because it shows that he will backstab anybody if he gets the chance. Like, as long as it looks good for him, that's what he'll do. And I can't deal with people like that. I despise people like that. Sorry for the long video, but I had to talk about this. This is something that's quite a bit different from what I normally do, but I had to talk about this. This is a big deal to me, and I can't stand people who are this slimy, who are this much of a snake, and honestly, a terrible person. And yeah, and people are going to say in the comments, well, he already apologized. He doesn't. I don't accept that apology. He's only doing that because the immense amount of backlash that he's gotten as of recent. That's the only reason why he's done it. He's not sincere in it. I don't believe he's sincere. Because if he was sincere, he would have helped his friend. He would have done it at the get-go and apologized. But he didn't. He doubled down twice. And then, when he got too much backlash, he had to go and apologize. So no, I don't trust this guy. This guy's a piece of garbage. And he remains in the trash bin where he belongs. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Let's share. As always, take care, my friends.